Hi, welcome back to Mike's Plot Point Ventures. Last night I got to see Predator Badlands, and it was quite a treat. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, so stick around. So, welcome back. Got done watching it last night. It was a long day, first of all. I had a lot of things going on, but I had a chance to kind of get there a little bit later in the evening. And, I love all the Predator movies, especially Predator 1. Who doesn't love Predator 1? Who doesn't love Arnie, right? It was an amazing thing back in the late 80s, and it's been a challenge for them to replicate that magic that they had back in the day. This has been a bold reimagining of the franchise, and I'm really excited about how they did it. Set in the brutal alien wasteland with no humans in sight, follows Deck, a young outcast predator, on a journey of survival, redemption, and self discovery. The protagonist, Deck, a smaller, weaker Junta, I'll never get that right, who's been cast out by his clan, who's been belittled by his dad or father, the clan chief. The main story arc of the movie is Deck, the predator, the main predator. He's a little bit of a runt, if you will. He's abnormal, but compared to the rest of the predators, his clan and his dad is not happy about that. It sounds like, when you come into the movie, it's like he's been trying to prove himself and hadn't yet had a chance to do so. Some pretty intense stuff happens right at the beginning of the film, and just was really pretty brutal right off the rip. The movie opens up pretty aggressively right out of the rip, and before you know it, Deck finds himself on his adventure to claim his trophy. I won't give any spoilers of how that came to be, but basically he's got to prove himself. So he ends up traveling to this alien planet where everything is trying to kill you. You've seen it in the trailers. Everything is trying to kill you. It's very, very aggressive. I mean, the plants are trying to kill you. The bugs are trying to kill you. The grass is trying to kill you. All these things are coming into play right after Deck lands on the planet. It's pretty intense. At that point, Deck kind of meets up with a kind of cyber organism. I think they call it like a synth or synthetic. It was pretty cool. Played by Elle Fanning. She does a terrific job in this role. She plays you've seen her again in the trailer. She's kind of missing half of her body or legs. Doesn't feel it, of course, but she's kind of Deck's companion, along with another fun creature that you'll meet kind of in the first act of the movie. And they kind of work together in order to achieve or try to hunt the new prey, if you will. I really liked the dynamic. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. I like the horror-esque of Predator 1, Predator 2, Predators. I think those movies all worked, and I love them. I'm a big Predator fan, always have been. I even like AVP. If you stick around, I'll give you the ranking of how I see the Predator movies falling. I didn't see I've only seen the live action films though, so I'll go on record and say that. Kind of the themes of the movie, unlike traditional movies where it's kind of more horror based, this one's more action adventure. It's really impressive the amount of action they're able to display, and I love the way Deck fights as a predator. You get to see that on full display. It's pretty impressive, the weaponry, all the things that are going on. I've always kind of been excited about the predator technology, and they don't disappoint in this movie. The only time I do get slightly disappointed, you'll see, is kind of he kind of puts on a mask midway, and it's just not the same as what you'd see from other Predator movies. The director of this movie is Dan Trachtenberg, known for Prey, which I really enjoy that movie as well, and 10 Cloverfield Lane. The runtime of this movie is about 107 minutes, and it felt just right. I really enjoyed it. You get in there, it opens up with action. There's action and dialogue and very good story arcs within the whole movie. It finishes really strong. I really enjoyed the first half of the movie. I mean, it was like on point, everything. Later on in the movie, that you did find a little bit more humor. They were doing some of the MCU. You've heard this from other reviewers. Some of the MCU humor and tropes that you kind of find yourself getting into. I did like the fact that it kind of did bounce back to pretty serious. I mean, when it got serious, I was really impressed with how it could jump back to serious real quick. But then you got, the friendship thing. They're trying to team up and all that. I'm not going to give away too much of the story plot here. But I like it's a little bit more on a serious note, kind of just talking about Deck, the main protagonist of the film. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel based off of the trailers and what I saw. It looked like it was going to be kind of a different looking predator. They really quickly explain to you why that is. And, between the dynamics between him, his brother, his father, you quickly find yourself rooting for him, which was really, really good to see. And the dynamic or the way his face and everything looked, you quickly adjust to it, and you're behind Deck, and you want to see him win. Kind of carrying on that same kind of plot point, even though he is considered one of the weaker or runt of the clan, he still does all the predator moves. I mean, he does all the big stuff in the trees, stalking, very powerful fight scenes, the weaponry. The cinematography around him when he was fighting was really intense. You don't miss out on the predator action, trust me. In fact, I'd say it's the other way around. It's even more aggressive and than some of the other predator movies from an action standpoint. Elle Fanning, she played Thea. She played like a dual role. Thea and Tessa, two different complete characters altogether, and they both worked. She did a good job. I think this was a good role for her. She really broke out and did a really good job. You wanted to see her win. She had kind of a multi story arc plot going on as well, and they didn't reveal that until the third act, and it really kind of caught Deck off guard, which was really impressive. Here I am listening to me talking about a predator like you know him, like he's your best buddy. It's really awesome how they did that. I consider myself more of a predator purist, so this is really kind of fun to be sitting there talking to you about this from a different perspective. The role they ended up landing on was called Genna, and again, everything was out to kill you. I mean, everything. You couldn't even land and walk over here, and before you knew it, things were attacking. Things were flying at you. The graphs was trying to get you. I'm not going to ruin that. Things exploding. I mean, just a very intense. I couldn't believe the intensity that was happening on screen from the minute, the second he landed on the ground, and I thought that was really cool how they played into that. Where usually the predator is kind of the attacker, the aggressor. He found himself on the defense a lot. Again, very tastefully done, though. Kind of getting into the music and the soundtrack, I thought it was a very aggressive, tough tone to the music. It was really well done. It felt very Predator-esque, while just having just a very serious, aggressive tone to it. And it kind of backed off and was more sentimental when it needed to be. But overall, I thought the movie score and everything was done excellent. Some of the humor in it, I found the movie going off track a few times. There's something with the android or the synthetic that was a little bit hokey with her legs. I'll leave that alone. And just a couple of the jokes were too human almost. I mean, from nobody actually being from Earth, there was a lot of jokes that just were, like Earth jokes. Again, I won't ruin those for you. Comment in the notes below if you know what I'm talking about. There was just a couple of them that was like, well, how did you know that if nobody here is from Earth? And it's a very Earth type of saying. So just the little things I did catch, and that's nitpicky. Overall, the show is amazing. The main protagonist that Deck actually tries to fight was called a callus. This thing was very, very menacing. I mean, it made him look not menacing. It was very intense, very hard to kill, very hard to attack. It was pretty intense. They had a really good story arc with that as well, and how that all went down. But you'll find yourself really kind of rooting for Deck, just the intensity that's going on in the fight scenes and the way, the Predator, how they kind of, when they scream, their mouth opens up. They do a lot of that in this, and it's pretty intense, and you can see it in the Deck's eyes. I mean, just like really, really, really intense on that. They go a lot into the Predator lore as far as the clans, the trophies, and all those things. All those good Predator things are still there. You see the shit from some of the other movies, AVP and different thing, where you see kind of the different skulls, things of that nature. I like that they kept that, kept you in the universe. A couple surprises here and there. A couple of it you're surprised they didn't tie in, but overall, it felt really good. It felt definitely locked in the Predator universe. This one takes place definitely in the future, where Prey, if you remember seeing Prey, that goes way back in the past. I thought it was a nice basic contrast going from the older style to kind of the newer tech and knew what was going on. I thought they did a terrific job kind of with that. What were the standouts for me? I would say the world building was pretty good. I mean, the world itself that they landed on, they were on a couple different planets. And just everything that was happening on in the world, Deck's intensity when he was fighting, when he was screaming, when he was getting hurt, all those things were extremely intense, and it worked really well for me. The fighting choreograph that was going on was just amazing. There was a lot of CGI elements on the screen, and it really all kind of worked seamlessly. Only a couple times where you saw maybe some little bit heavy CGI, but overall, with the way everything was laid out, and the fighting and the movement and the sound design and all that, it just really worked seamlessly. I think if you go there, you're really going to enjoy kind of watching this intense Predator stuff with a little bit of humor here and there, and it's just a really good balance. Is this a kids movie? This is kind of a tricky one for me. The movie is PG-13. It's not rated R. It's only not rated R because of the human blood element. There is none of that in this film. Everything that Deck and team they're killing are all CGI type of entities, or enemies or protagonists, antagonists. However, there is a lot of limb ripping, heads popping. There's a lot of aggressive killing that does go on. It's not human killing. So overall, I'd say you could take your kids if they're not too sensitive to that. If not, you might wait till they're a little bit older. I would bring my son, but my son's just now turned 16. No problem there. But maybe when he was 8. Maybe not. That's up to you. Just depends on your kids' ability to understand what's going on. I would highly recommend you checking this out on Big D or IMAX. I think a really good screen. It's warranted for a big screen. I think it lends itself to a very the sound is so powerful and strong, a lot of bass hitting, the ships flying, the thugs of the fight scenes, the soft dialogue in the middle of the movie where they're kind of talking and bantering back and forth. I think it's really good to watch it on the biggest screen possible. I'm glad I did. You can see this in the picture here. Ratings, I would go ahead and give this a solid 7 out of 10. I thought a lot of things worked for it. Again, very positive from the opening all the way to the midpoint. The third act is strong, but I don't think it's quite as strong as the first two. The first half, I think it really opened very strongly, and I'll give it a 7 out of 10 just because I really enjoyed myself. Definitely way above average. It's a really good Predator movie. What could have been maybe a little bit better, I thought a little bit less of the joking. I mean, I enjoy comedy just as much as the next person, but it's just like with what was going on in the world, everything that was happening. I know they're trying to add some levity to it, but when you're in a planet where everything's trying to kill you, just maybe the jokes, take that as you will. You might love it, you might not. In the end, I think that you'll really enjoy this movie. I really do. It brings a lot of good cinematic value. It makes you want to go to the movie to watch it. If you don't check it out at the theater, I highly recommend you stream it when it comes out because I think you'll have a good time. If you're a Predator fan, I don't think this will disappoint you. It's a different take, but it's really good in the end, and I hope that you check it out and give it a chance. I'm going to put up my Predator rankings from greatest to least. Of course, Predator is going to be number 1, right? But here they are. If you want to check this out, I think, tell me what you think in the comments below. Did I rank the movies properly? The one thing I'll note is that I did not see Killer of Killers yet. I got to check that out. But as far as Predator, Predator 2, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Predators, The Predator, Prey, and Badlands, I saw all of those. So I think the ratings, I think they make sense, but you tell me what you think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this review of this content, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a good one.